Guys, it is currently 11:02 a.m. and my phone's at 44%, so that's awesome. Um so I would like to ideally say, that I lay down and I fell asleep for a couple hours. That did not happen. But I did lay down and I was listening to something, which is a good thing, and it basically triggered pain of like, well, I want that, but then what if this happens type of thing. And so anyway, I uncovered a core belief for sure, that is, I don't belong. Like, my true self doesn't belong. And that's obviously very painful. And I know where it comes from, my entire life. Not my entire life, but I'm saying it's, started long time ago. And I just wanted to say how the brain can lie to us. It's like if someone said, do task A, and you were like, I can do task A, and I can even do it, with flow if, I have this and this. And then the person's like, well, you can't have those, but you still have to do task A, and you still have to do it with flow. And, I was gonna say this is like a rant. It's not a rant, it's just a truth that it's not widely thought about, I guess, or at least in my experience with people. So two emotions, let's say, are, or two, I guess, expressions of emotions, let's say, are yelling or crying. Okay, so see, I'm like already shaking, but it's just me speaking the truth. As a whole, like generally speaking, blowing up at someone is considered way more socially acceptable. Well, that's understandable. They're under stress, or, they have a lot of trauma, like whatever. And that is actively attacking someone when you're screaming at someone. That does affect the person, and they might have tools so that they can mitigate that, but don't kid yourself that that doesn't affect another person, Versus crying, which is the person doing it themselves. They're not actually hurting anybody. They might trigger things in people, but they're not actively attacking anybody. They are expressing a natural, like, stuff comes out of your eyes. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a sneeze, like I said. And I just find it so confusing and, like, yeah, that is how it's been. It's like someone starts crying and then someone else like hits them or mocks them or yells at them. It's like a sneeze, like I said. So because I sneezed, I'm punished. And at the same time, the person that's screaming at the person that's crying and saying, you're so emotional, anger is an emotion, people. Like, women are so emotional. Men are emotional too. Like, it's just, I just can't stand the BS anymore, Like, it's just not even accurate. It's like someone who refuses to be self-aware can say that they have control of their emotions, but if you actually hold up a mirror or camera, that's not true. So what do? They get louder and more intimidating to kind of force people into submission and silence, but it doesn't make it true, right? So me being in my bed alone, the whole point was to get some rest so I can be there for my daughter. I always am there, but I'm just saying I could be even more there. And because of my upbringing, it was like, well, you're not allowed to rest, you're not allowed to do that, It's just, that is insanity. It's 4:44 when I said that. Yeah, that's insanity. And there is just this ass backwards stigma towards natural human responsible release of emotion versus, someone having road rage. Well, I have road rage because I'm pissed off. Okay, but that shouldn't be acceptable, right? It's just wild to me. And I'm just so proud of myself that I'm kind of going against almost, and not everybody, and I know that, but like until I find my tribe in person of people who get it and like are realizing it, I'm doing that at my house. Like my daughter's allowed to have her emotions. She's certainly allowed to cry. And in fact, I've even said, which is the right thing, which is like, you can feel anger, but it's not appropriate to express it, in these ways, like hitting or, that actually isn't appropriate. So it's really good because it started out as like, wow, see, I don't belong because I'm sitting here and I'm crying like a baby. And then I thought, wait a minute, what the heck? Like, first of all, I'm working on rewiring that's perfectly fine. Okay, in order to rewire, you figure out where it comes from. Oh, got that. Then it's like the hypocrisy of it all. It's like, so you're going to scream at me because I'm crying. And you're going to yell at me that I'm emotional, but you're yelling. Like, And it's like I'm breaking free from these lies. And, I'm not saying I release tears comfortably, but I did I reminded myself, you don't need to quote unquote pull it together right now. You literally don't. You literally are just trying to get some darn, rest, And so I told myself the only rule is I can't like run from it because I don't need to right now. Because a part of me is like, well, what if you needed to? Then I would. I don't have like emotional like outbursts, right? It's just literally like, oh, they're emotions. And especially because I refuse to be a statistic. So I'm like doing this mindset work. Well, when you do mindset work, the stuff that's in contrast to it rises up so that you can heal it, especially if it's trauma, and then replace it, And the really cool thing is I heard the garbage men come, I heard like the noise of the truck, and I told myself after I released the emotion, which I'll be honest, I didn't necessarily fully release it, but hey, I tried, and I tapped during it and I reminded myself, like, no, you're safe right now to do this. And if someone was here that was safe, or if you were in like a therapy session, this would be celebrated. So stay in the bed, and which should show that I do not indulge in this whatsoever, right? None of that's true. So anyway, then I heard the garbage truck and I thought, what garbage thoughts do I want to throw away? Right? And it was so empowering. It was like, I want to throw away the garbage thought that I don't belong. I want to throw away the garbage thought that my natural skills are not valuable, and that society doesn't, whatever. I want to throw away the garbage thought that just because certain people, rejected me does not mean that there's something, like that I'm the problem or that something's wrong with me. It's just not true. And especially, I'm getting less and less, this is a good thing, I'm ultimately like losing more and more respect for people who aren't acknowledging their own behavior. Like they're lying about it, and yet they're saying that I'm the problem. It's like, but you're not even interesting. So this anger is rising up, which is a good thing, because unlike other people with anger, I don't yell and I don't, attack other people. But I'm using the anger, like I said, to ultimately fuel me and be like, this isn't true. This literally isn't true. And like I said, I definitely want to, one of my dreams is to either have like a transition center or even just a room in like corporations in the building where there's like a soundproof room so you can like let out tears, and there's a boxing, punching bag so you can let out some aggression during the workday on at a specific time. and just release. So then you can go back to doing the thing that you're supposed to be doing, right? Because here's the facts. This stuff comes out anyway. So, you either blow up at work or you hold it in, but then you get sick because you're holding it in all the time. It's not true that it just goes away if you don't ever, and I mean ever, feel it. And I know that the reason I even struggle to freaking lay down is because I was never allowed to have any sort of emotion. So it's a backlog that I now have to deal with. So yeah, I'm angry about that. I should be angry about that, right? But at the same time, I'm really proud of myself because I'm rewriting history. Like it's just incredible. Like my daughter isn't living anything what I lived to what I can control, And so anyway, it's exciting. It's exciting because I'm transforming yet again the energy from this toxic, inaccurate, disgusting, like repulsive into that's actually not true. And if it was like, well, you can't be doing that at work. I'm not at work right now. That's why I'm doing it now, and I wasn't even trying to do it, by the way. My goal wasn't to release emotion. My goal was to freaking lay down. But that's the level I'm dealing with. Now, if you were like, well, can you just take something to help you lay down? Yes. And I will if I need to. But again, and if she was off normal time today, but she's off in like 10 minutes. And I'm fine. You know what I mean? I'm actually better than fine because I dumped some garbage. Like I said, that cluttered room. I just dropped some crap off at the dumpster, and I'm going to use the very justified anger to fuel me. And to be like, okay, so that's what made me think that I wasn't worthy. But here's the truth, And I'm proud of myself for posting this because I want to help others. And I'm telling you, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not you. It's not you. It's just not. Unless you're going around and you're actively, like truly like in their face attacking other people, right? But if it's like, I don't know why I'm so emotional, that's not what it is. It's just not. So that being said, I did my push-ups and crunches, and I've done my Spanish, and I'm just really proud of myself because I'm fighting the good fight. I really am. I'm fighting for my right to live, And it's like, if that seems intense, well, it is. This is what I'm dealing with because I don't take it out on other people. So this is me taking it all in, being honest with myself, taking responsibility for it, but ultimately transforming it. Because I am love and light. And this crap that was dumped on me, I do need to process and release so that I do not hold myself back anymore, So I'm excited because I really think that I'm like rising from the ashes. It really feels like that. And it's like, you know what? These things, these people that used to hold me down, I know the truth now. And yes, there's a part of me that's still scared, but the part of me that knows the truth is getting stronger every minute of every day. Why? Because I'm doing the work, and it is work. It is intense, and I'm really proud of myself for it. So anyway, okay, love you guys.